All right, welcome back to Life Fit with DVD. Thanks for being here. Today I wanted to talk about what is your brain's superpower and the 8 different types of intelligence and how to use them. So this is a bit of an elaboration on the last video that I had done on IQ and whether it was the best barometer of intelligence or if there was something else. So let's get into it. So there's a myth around IQ here. So when you hear intelligence, what do you picture? A physicist solving a complex equation, a chess grandmaster. But for decades, we've been sold a lie that intelligence is a single number, like an IQ score. But what about that brilliant composer who really can't do algebra, or an empathetic leader that understands people on a deep level, but really, they're not that intelligent by an IQ score. So today we're going to look at that, the IQ myth, and exploring the science-backed framework of multiple different intelligences. And your mission is to discover your own unique cognitive fingerprint and to learn how to build a life that makes the most of it. So, what is the foundation here? Well, this is beyond the G factor. So for most of the 20th century, intelligence was a single general factor called the G factor. And this was basically measured by standard IQ tests. However, around 1983, a psychologist named Howard Gardner had a theory of multiple intelligences and proposed that intelligence is not a single entity, but a set of distinct abilities. So while this was debated in academic psychology for its specifics, the core idea is that people have a diverse set of cognitive strengths, and that's widely accepted and incredibly useful for personal development. So it's really not how smart you are, it's how you are smart. And that can take or look like a variety of different things. So what are the 8 different intelligences? So if you can find these, if you can take a test to measure this, these can be your superpower, where if you are measured by IQ, it might not just be that number, right? Could be something a little bit more complex. So the first type is linguistic intelligence. So this is like word smarts. So its strength is sensitivity to the meaning and order of words, very skilled with language, being able to dissect words down, looking at the sum of its parts and its meanings. And, if you are good at this, you enjoy doing this, you might be a natural writer, editor, lawyer, poet, journalist, podcaster, or storyteller. And, if you're good at this, maybe you should be pursuing a direction in writing, law, teaching, or any other role requiring persuasive communication. So then there's the logical mathematical intelligence, or number or reasoning smarts. And this is the ability to handle chains of reasoning, recognize patterns, think logically, and this is typically what general IQ tests do. So if you already are smart, maybe you're not here watching this video, but you might be better suited as a scientist, mathematician, programmer, engineer, or data analyst, or accountant, or something like that. Good with numbers, good with looking at logical reasoning, and you can thrive in those kind of mainstream STEM fields: finance, logistics, or any data-driven or research-oriented role. The third is spatial intelligence. So this is kind of like picture smarts. And it's the ability to perceive the visual spatial world accurately and perform transformations of one's initial perceptions of the space. So you might be good at architecture with this sort of intelligence. You might be a good artist, sculptor, photographer, pilot, surgeon, or interior designer. Anything that has to do with the reorganization or manipulation of general space, or yourself in the space. So you can pursue a direction with visual arts, design, navigation, engineering, and fields requiring mental manipulation of objects. So then we have the fourth, which is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. This is body smarts, using one's own body in a highly differentiated and skilled way for expressive and goal-directed purposes. So if you have good intelligence within your body, you might be a natural athlete. You could be good at dancing, surgery, just maybe a good craftsman or general contractor, mechanic, actor, anything that really involves thinking about how your body needs to be in space. So really, it's not that, it's different than the spatial intelligence where you're looking out at the world. So I misspoke. It's really more of the bodily kinesthetic intelligence is perceiving how your own self is moving through the space. So then we have the fifth. And sorry, didn't include the direction. So if you're good at kinesthetic intelligence, seek careers in sports. Maybe even some sort of personal trainer, performing arts, physical therapy, trade crafts, or any sort of just hands-on sensory profession. So then we have the fifth sort of intelligence is musical intelligence, music smarts. And this is the ability to understand, create, and appreciate musical patterns, including pitch, rhythm, and pacing. So here you'd be a natural musician, composer, DJ, music producer, or even sound engineer. And then your direction you can go is to build a life in music, production, maybe therapy or audio technology. And there's a lot of different things that you can go with this. I mean, even within the healing realms. So the sixth is interpersonal intelligence or people smarts. So this is often grouped with EQ, so emotional intelligence or the emotional quotient. And here it's the ability to understand and interact effectively with others, and the sensitivity to moods, temperaments, motivations, and the desires of others. Here you might be a natural leader, manager, therapist, teacher, salesperson, diplomat, coach. Maybe you have elements of being a people pleaser. I know that's usually thought of from a negative light, but you have empathy here, right? And the direction is you can lead in business, counseling, education, sales, or any other role oriented with human interaction. So then the next is intrapersonal intelligence or self-smarts. And this is really the core of emotional intelligence or EQ. And this is the ability to understand oneself and their own emotions, fears, motivations, where you're coming from. Maybe not necessarily where others are coming from, but you're really good at understanding yourself. So here, you might be a natural writer, philosopher, psychologist, entrepreneur, or even spiritual leader. And the direction is you should excel in roles requiring deep reflection, autonomy, self-direction, entrepreneurship, counseling, writing, similar to the external and social intelligence, or the interpersonal intelligence. But also artistic pursuits would be a great fit as well. So then we come down to the last one, and that is the naturalistic intelligence or nature smarts. And this is the ability to recognize and classify patterns in nature. This is an expertise in distinguishing among different species of things, features of the natural world. And here you might be a natural biologist, botanist, farmer, conservationist, chef, geologist, and you're best in pursuing work in an environmental science, agriculture, geology. Maybe like even a veterinary medicine, culinary arts, those sorts of things. There's also two modern editions as well, and the one is the CQ, which I had mentioned in the last video, and this is the drive to know, learn, and explore. So this is the curiosity quotient. And it's a strong predictor of innovation and learning agility, which is becoming more and more important in our fast-paced, ever-changing world. So this is essential for researchers and entrepreneurs, or anyone that is trying to grow in today's society, really. And then the other is the adversity quotient, so AQ, and that's the ability to withstand and thrive through hardship, setbacks, and stress. It's basically resilience and grit. And arguably, this is the best predictor in modern society of long-term success in any sort of field, as it determines how you respond to the inevitable challenges of life. So, how do you build your own cognitive portfolio? You might, look at this and say, well, there's a few of these things here that I think that I excel at, right? So what are they, right? Write them down. When do you feel most in flow? Is it with multiple different areas there? And play to your strengths. Don't fixate on the things that you don't have. And try not to waste energy thinking about, really improving your logic and arithmetic as a mathematician if your strengths are interpersonal or linguistic or intrapersonal. Instead try to become the best communicator, maybe for a tech company, right? Because they probably have the other role met, but maybe they need somebody like you, especially if you're interested in tech. But partner with people whose strengths complement your own. The goal is to integrate. The most powerful innovators combine all of these intelligences, and a great surgeon has bodily kinesthetics, skill, spatial intelligence for the anatomy, a high adversity quotient for handling the pressure, but ultimately it's about really looking at your strengths here and playing to them. So your unique blend of intelligence is your competitive advantage. It's what makes your perspective and your contribution utterly replaceable, because everybody is different and excels at different things. And everybody can actually improve these areas as well. If you look at neuroplasticity, we all have the ability to learn. We all have, if we have that curiosity quotient, that's going to help you excel in all of these other areas as well. So stop trying to fit into somebody else's box, to look smart, and ultimately build your own stack, build your own skill set. So what are your top 2 or 3 intelligences here? How can you lean into them more, over the next week? It'd be interesting to hear what you excel at in the comments below. It's incredibly empowering to, own them and to really try to play into them as much as possible and realize this is how you self-differentiate yourself. So if this helped you to see a new perspective in intelligence, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, like or subscribe if you did. That'd be much appreciated. And thanks for watching. And until next time, I will be back with something different. Bye.